It's ukulele day today. The MLG offices. Started with Mr. X.
So Pockets.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Yesterday, Benson said
What did he say, Matt?
that if Vicento didn't get traded, he would eat a lemon. So guess what I have today?
If he didn't get traded.
Yes. So we have an hour before Benson has to
We need a timer.
There are 60 minutes left. No, 57
has
minutes left.
He has to eat this like an apple, pretty much. If.
No.
No, I'm not eating like an apple.
cutting it.
I will.
No,
No.
there's no cutting it.
No.
That's what you said.
I will.
That's what he said.
I did not say. Not once did I say I will eat it like an apple.
I heard
I
you
will
say
peel. No,
you will
I
eat
will
it
peel. No.
like an apple.
No. I shall peel the lemon.
No, that's
Now,
no fun in
first of
that.
all,
Now,
I
Matt,
don't
this
even
is not the
probably-
first time Ben has had to eat
Exactly.
raw lemon.
I'm completely content
Really?
with this.
Back in the Puckett versus Benson days, Ben had to eat a whole lemon and a spoonful of cinnamon.
You were definitely the child that liked the smell of like pine saw, like that stuff. That,
Absolutely, that's
around
me.
clean
And like
You still
petrol,
like clean
gasoline.
bathrooms.
Like when you go to like the petrol station or the gas
Benson's
station.
like weird
The petrol
fetishes. He like
Dude,
smells
it's amazing.
bathrooms.
I love the smell of it.
I
Absolutely
love the
love
smell of clean bathrooms.
I do.
Ben huffs gasoline.
You're a freak.
So there
Smells
are
good.
So I have the
57
lemon.
minutes until that lemon gets eaten today.
Yes.
That's not true because
You think
I
he's
have
getting
devised a brilliant segment which we can fill an hour's time of talking about.
traded? Okay.
That's right. We're going to talk about each roster and kind of talk about key players to watch throughout this next 60-minute period. There's already been a trade today, actually.
Yes.
And
Trade
who was
this-
that for
trade
everyone
this
just
morning.
joining us?
So, let me bring up my awesome list of trades that have occurred already. Before we get to the trade that happened today, I
Yep.
want to kind of throw back all the way back to the 23rd. This is where we saw a first bit of roster movement past last roster mania, if you will. And that was some trades from Denal. Denal requests to add Godlike as a sub. Pretty fluff, right? Doesn't really mean anything. It's just kind of like, okay, they're trying to fill their sub
Yeah,
spots.
godlike, yeah.
But then Denal requests to trade Godlike to Elevate.
They just needed a player to trade.
Right. That was the thing. Elevate requests to trade Nagafen to Denal. So immediately Denal is trying to force position of power. Getting some key plays, as you can see.
That's a really interesting trade for Elevate to take.
Right?
Yeah.
Didn't really make sense when you think about it, but it's a good sub to have. That seemed to be Denal's kind of mindset. Very similar to when FaZe picked up Aqua, right? At the very beginning, it was kind of like, hey,
Right.
this is a really powerful sub. We're going to keep hold of this guy, and we know that we can deal from a position of power now. Like, you know how much he's worth. He just plays second at COD Champ, so smart play from Denal, all in all. But then, the 26th, this is where it gets kind of crazy. AR requests to trade Happy to Prophecy. After just picking him up,
Right.
they're already dispatching of him on the roster.
Yep.
Doesn't make any sense whatsoever, but then the next move kind of did. Prof requests to trade Mochilla to AR. So Burns and Mochilla, they've already been teammates before. Controversial opinions on how that one...
Let's go, Curse New York.
Fin-
Orange.
Curse red, orange.
Orange?
Blue,
yeah, there's never a
black.
Curse Red, was there?
So,
Nah.
That'd be impressive.
It's curse bad and curse worse.
Yeah.
It was Curse I coached to 4th place. Curse Maven didn't get them to the season finals. But anyway, that was what happened on the 26th. The 27th, okay, Prophecy requests to trade BL5 to FaZe. So Prof again in the action. And you're kind of like, okay, what's kind of going on here? And then FaZe requests to trade Aqua to Prophecy.
Trying to keep up with all this.
Right. Well,
so
that gets
so
you
right
where-
now, Prof are looking very, very good.
Well, you didn't really. We didn't go into
We didn't
the
even
last
get
part
to
of
the last part.
27th. So then, Prof requests to trade Felony to Denial,
Yep.
and Prophecy gets Nagafen. So now, Prophecy announces that their lineup is going to be Aches, Apathy, Nagafen, and Aqua going forward.
So Censor is
Censor
getting-
Censor is-
traded today.
Yes, he
to
just got
FaZe
traded.
for BL Fire.
Now, this is where it gets
And BL Fire is not
extremely
going to be used by either team.
BL Fire at this point
He's
is
just,
kind of
he's
fluff.
just, yeah.
BL Fire was already on Prof as well, which is the super ironic part of all this. Like, he's already been on the
Like he
squad.
leaves Prof to go back
Right.
to
But
Prof.
It's like,
do you
okay.
see Censor playing instead of
Right.
Zuma, Enable,
So
Hooker,
this is
or Slasher?
this is where everything kind of gets extremely interesting, in my opinion at least. And the reason behind that, he was one of my players to watch. Before this trade went down, when I was writing the script, I was like, Censor player to watch. So, with FaZe going over to Gfinity,
Yep.
we knew they needed to pick up a player because Enable was going to be playing with Optic, right?
Right.
And you're like, okay, now that makes sense. Censor is going to
Gfinity
fill in.
is Gfinity's 18 plus as
Well,
well.
Exactly.
And
Problems occur.
Censor
Hook's not old
is-
enough.
Censor is through and through a FaZe member.
Right, as much
he's
as he's
a
off of
FaZe
it.
He always will be.
YouTuber. He's definitely belongs as part of that org. If you're not going to play at all, put him on that bench. But
who are
do
they
you think
using?
he becomes the starter?
But then
instead of
they still need one more player.
For
So the
Gfinity,
whole
they
thing
need
is
another
completely
player.
irrelevant because they need one more player. They still need to find one. Who that's going to be, I was looking at players maybe like FaZe to fill in, but I don't think that's going to be the
Because
case
they could go
anymore.
with
maybe a Remy.
They go with Slasher, Zuma, Sensor, and then they need one.
What, who can't travel?
No, he's under 18.
Under 18.
And
Gfinity
Gfinity is an 18
plus.
plus event, so he will not be able to play. So, although that's kind of not to do with the league trades and
Yeah.
how we expect them to go down, that's still something to be thinking about in the back of your mind.
Who is
in
like
terms of what
another?
these trades are doing now.
Like I mean, I'm looking at subs in the league. I mean, I guess
you have
Remy,
Facento and Remy. They're the only two players of that caliber who can
Facento,
play.
So what are you trying
Dito.
to
You're looking at a player like that.
Are you trying to replace a Bao, or are you trying to replace an SMG, or are you trying to get someone who can do both?
You've lost Enable immediately. He's off the cards because he's playing for Optic. So you
Which is really weird that Enable is playing for Optic at an event that his team's going to be at.
Right, and was FaZe going to be there when he first
I don't think
attempted
so.
the offer?
Probably not.
That's
That's
probably
probably
not.
the situation.
Yeah.
But then you also lose Hook too, and it's
Yeah.
like you're extremely like massively aggressive players now. I mean, you still have Zuma, I
I
guess,
think of
but
Facento and Remy in a heartbeat. Like that combination, you have Remy
I think-
who plays the aggressive in-your-face role, and then Facento takes over more of a laid-back Bao.
See, I think they'll probably
Either
go.
Dito?
I think they'll go with Doug and Dito.
I think
That would be my
Dito
guess.
makes sense. Either
Yeah.
if not Dito, Remy. I think Facento's off the cards at this point.
I say Remy's better than Sensor, though. Like, for what?
Doesn't matter. They finally get to get Doug back on the team, which I think is something that they've wanted to do for a
Yeah.
while. Because he's, as you mentioned, he's through and through this guy as part of FaZe YouTube. He loves the brand. Not once has he ever changed his like gamer tag or any of that nonsense. Because he's like, well, I'm still in FaZe. I may be playing for Prof, but I'm on FaZe.
Kind of like Optic Embers
Yeah.
playing for Prop.
Right, exactly the same as
Right.
that. Exactly the same as that. So I think they're finally happy to have him back. But when everything is back to normal after these events, is Senta just on the bench?
Yes.
Yeah.
Is he going to be happy to be on the bench?
No.
No.
You know Sensor.
So, which is kind of like, well,
But
What was the point from
Sensor's in
not playing?
Sensor's in that weird spot where like he could totally commit to just being a personality
Right.
and like really he can carry their brand like that way, and that's probably
And
better.
he's seeing a lot of success right now.
Oh, tons of it.
can you do me a favor?
Yeah.
Bring up the document on the PC because it's a very important file we need to open to see all those trades if they do come in. But that was a little bit about FaZe and the issue that they're going to have and the pickle that they're in. But talking about Prof now, okay, you have 50% of TR on your squad. You have Nagafen, have Aqua, Aches and Apathy. Is it worth trying to trade for another member of TR? You've got Facento, who's currently a sub on Elevate, and you've got Remy, who's currently a sub on AR. That doesn't really make much sense. Two powerful
I
players.
tell you what. I think Aches, Facento, Nagafen, and Aqua is a really solid squad. And then I think if Apathy went over, I think Slacked, Classic, TJ, and Apathy is a sick squad as well. Like, neither of those teams gets hurt if they wanted to make that trade.
What was the trade you just said?
If it was Apathy for Facento, straight up, neither team gets hurt in that situation.
Well, then Apathy's on the bench.
No, they would just plug him in for temp. I would have to
For
believe
temp?
so. Then you would have Apathy.
Has Temp been inconsistent
No,
in the
Temp's
Pro
been
League
really
matches?
good. That's the
Because
only
he's
issue.
amazing.
Right, that's the only
in the
issue.
matches
Is you
I've cast.
do you want to replace Temp because
You-
he's really good?
Elevate is not going to make a change to the starting lineup. They are second in the Pro League right now.
Right.
They have no need to make a change at all.
Could
They're
you see?
They are 20
Could you see
and 8.
Apathy going to Elevate and then getting shipped off to AR?
What about Justice?
Nah.
Study, Merc, TCM, and Octane. That's a team who, right now, I feel is just there just to be there. Hey, let's play in the Pro League just because we can.
I tell you what.
What?
If TK didn't win UGC, I could totally see Apathy ending up there.
But they did.
But they did.
Right.
See, this current teams, which I think
And,
is
and
off the
TK
trades.
is the only team who doesn't have a second sub.
And
No,
OG.
OG don't. OG
OG.
only have Nature as a sub right
Gotcha.
now. There's a couple of teams who are immediately off the cards for this roster trade or this roster lock, countdown deadline day, whatever you want to call it. Optic Gaming, Denial, TCM, TK, Envy, Rise, and Elevate. They're the teams which I don't think are making any moves whatsoever. There's just no point. Like, they're all either in really good positions or I just don't think they can trade for anyone. There seems like AR, who have been making some bizarre roster change. It doesn't make sense. Hey, let's trade for Happy, play really well with the guy, and then
if in the next 10
trade him out.
minutes,
Like, that
if in the
doesn't
next
make
10 minutes, Apathy called Burns and was like, "Hey, I want to join AR," would Burns get that done?
I would like to think yes.
Right.
That's a good thing for the squad. And then what, you trade Remy for Apathy? Then you have 3/4 of TR. Then you have a good squad. At that point, you've got Aqua, Nagafen, Remy, and Aches. You can't tell me that's not a good squad. That's a
like
nasty
Vicento.
squad.
Yeah.
Would you though? Aches can run that battle roll. We've seen him do it at the weekend's tournaments.
Vicento.
We've seen him do it throughout the weekend. He can do it. It's just whether he wants to take that role.
Like their current setup now is going to be Aqua and Apathy running like aggressive submachine guns, and then Aches kind of rotating on and off, and Nagafen the main Bal. Like I think that's really like nice setup. But I think you would rather
but
have.
if you remember back to TR's play, I don't think you could ever call Nagafen a
main Bal.
Because he was running everything. We
You
saw
would say-
IMRs,
right.
we saw LMGs from him. He was running subs that time. I think Vicento was the main Bal for the team.
That's what I would think as well.
Would you want?
Which is Aches' role.
Would you want Vicento and Aches on the same team in the sense of leadership?
In my opinion,
I
they're
would.
the same person.
Right.
Like they play the same role, they do the same thing. Vicento leads the troops on TR. Aches always leads his troops on whatever team he's going to be. There's only room for one more Bal.
I think they would work more like Aches and Clay did than fight each other.
I think Remy would be a better pick than Vicento.
Personally, I think if you put Vicento on that team and you add Vicento and Nagafen running the ARs like on and off, Vicento can switch back and forth. You put a sub in Aches' hand and Aqua's hand and let them just kind of push things together. That would be a scary team. We talk about how much slaying is needed. Like Aches is a better slayer than Remy. I don't like that's instantly going to make their hardpoint game, which was their weakness, better.
But I don't know if Remy's role was to be a slayer.
Which it wasn't. But around champs, you can get away with it. Since champs, we've seen Denal struggle because they don't have enough slaying.
Yeah, they can't kill enough things.
They can't kill enough things. That's kind of where we see the game going, is that teams are just, you look at the rosters and they're just stacking up on people who can kill.
But that's kind of how I felt coming into COD Champs was Optic Gaming is definitely going to win because they have the best slaying.
Disagree.
The best slaying team is going to always win. And then TR came and proved that pure teamwork and making the smart decisions at the right time won or got them to second place.
As soon as I heard Rambo say on the analysis test that TR has the best teamwork of any team, I was like, okay, well, they're immediately going to be at least top 5 at COD Champs. They have to be, right? There's going to be
we all had them top 5.
Yeah, right. TR got by at champs
But
because
not
they were exceptional in 2 game modes. They were
Best
unbelievable
uplink
in
team.
Surge, and they were unbeatable on Uplink. They only had to win one other game, not even. I mean, they win both searches, and they win the Uplink. The series is over. I mean, then they win like a handful of their CTFs. I mean, they don't win a lot of those CTFs. I mean, those are all game 5s, like toss-ups, kind of like their series with Denal. I mean, their series with Denal came down to toss-up in the end. Denal just ended up winning those search and destroys.
I watched that back, by the way.
Did you?
I think that's the best match in Call of Duty history. At least Advanced Warfare history.
Advanced Warfare, yeah.
Yeah, by
But
far.
if you go back and watch just the Denial versus TR matchup, it very much feels like going back and watching Optic versus Complexity, or some of those like historic Black Ops 2 matches.
It was a lot closer than I think people think.
Oh, it's so close. Every game.
Every game was like down to the wire.
TR though, if TR was with their full lineup, where are they at right now in the leaderboard?
They wouldn't have enough slaying. They'd be near the top. They wouldn't have enough slaying to actually
They'd
contend.
probably be like 5th, 4th, 5th. They'd be around that.
Right, but could you actually see them be out slaying another team at a live event and winning it? I don't know.
But then that's the thing. In a live event, I think they could get away with it still. Like, if you told me that TR was going to be at X Games, I would still have them.
They could get away with it still.
Because they could play Uplink. Uplink hasn't changed. And there is S&D, really.
That's fine.
Maybe.
But you're not going to place well consistently with that kind of mentality. Because you can slip up and lose.
Yeah, no,
an S&D game, too.
You drop an S&D and you're screwed.
And then you're done.
Get 3 out.
And then you're done.
Right.
And then you get 3 out.
43 minutes left. No trades yet. Ben, how do you feel?
It's looking pretty juicy. Vicento's the player that I really want to see get traded. Bear in mind, I said Vicento can get traded. If he gets traded onto another team as a sub, I'm good. I'm lemon free.
Don't trade for Vicento.
Ooh, now I kind of see what you're trying to say.
Ha!
Young Benson, weaseling his way out of everything.
I could be a wizard, my friend. Realistically, though, there's a couple of teams that we should definitely talk about. We've talked about Prof and we've talked about FaZe a lot.
Yeah.
Kind of touched on AR. They're making some mind-blowingly crazy decisions. Just what they're doing doesn't really make sense. So
you know what I feel like they
for all
did?
we know, they're gonna make another team change right now.
Like I feel like they make team changes like just for the hell of it.
Everyone in the chat says Nate Shot is going to Team Revenge.
Yeah.
Okay.
Team Revenge
Well,
doesn't
Team
exist.
Revenge doesn't exist.
Yeah.
Anymore, so that's gonna be a weird one.
Awful comment.
You guys are correct.
AR is just kind of weird. Optic Nation, though. Let's talk a little bit about this squad.
Yep.
Stone Dead last in the Pro League, current record of 9-19.
Oh, if you're Hex, why don't you just pick up all the TR guys?
Because that would be logical.
Like, I know he.
I feel like he has
I know
so
you
much
love
respect for
Killa.
him.
He's so entertaining.
It's not even just that. I think it's Bose. The big
Why?
thing, because Bose got axed, right? And he felt, I know Hector felt really bad about that because he was
Right.
the captain of the squad, right? And then he
Yeah.
was taken away. And then their team just arguably got worse, which is
Yep.
the really ironic thing.
Bose had success.
Bose, he played extremely well as soon as he goes off the team. So Hector's kind of looking at it like, oh, well,
You weren't the problem.
he definitely wasn't the problem. So let me bring it back. And now Bo's back on the team. Guess what? Optic Nation last. And it's not, again, I feel like it's not his fault, which is
not.
Which is weird to say because it's kind of like deja vu all over
It's the
again.
combination of Killa and Mir.
Exactly. And how many
I think
times...
you can. I think you're at the point you can have one of them. You cannot have both.
And how many times is it going to happen until someone finally comes out and says, okay, like I said earlier on the ESR, casting last night's Pro League with Dan Sloss, Killer's brother, and he
2-on-5.
himself comes out and says, dude, Killer and Miracles, they just can't play together anymore. Like, that era, that storyline is done. Just kill it.
Oh, it was done in 2013.
Yeah, essentially. I mean,
After they failed to qualify for the Ghost Championship, I
That should
thought
have
it
been their
should've been
last.
the end.
That should have been
Right.
their last
And-
kind of.
And a good quote from last night again from Dan was, is you need to put difference between business and friends. It's all good playing with friends, but if you're not going to win anything, why
I
are you playing?
hated playing with friends. I needed to like the people I teamed with, but I didn't
just-
team with friends.
Right. I think that's
That
a,
makes sense.
that's
Like,
a
you respect
huge
your.
issue.
Like I thought the people that I teamed with were like good people, and they were like cool. Like if we went out to dinner, like, but like I wouldn't hang out with them like at events. Like I would hang out with other people,
Right.
Because like
Right.
it's
weren't
different.
attached
I think that's
like
that's
right. Like
that's
you
the
have
issue.
teammates, and then you have like friends. Like there's a distinct difference.
Mr. X was quite the social butterfly back in the 2005 pro circuit. He'd hang out with all the other teams. We always thought he was scheming, but really he
Scheming?
just liked hanging out with the other.
I
Yeah,
had
you
I
want
had
those
my
guys you
teammates.
upset?
It's no, like going to play a match is like going to work. So you show up, like
Finish your work.
And
right.
then you go chill. No, I respect that. But that's the issue right there with Optic Nation. Ricky Ambo's Killer Miracles. Like I feel like
But
they're
what's
such good
funny
friends,
is,
like it's like
we've seen Bose and Ricky with Prof at Champs have a good run with Classic and Moch. We've seen Bose have success with Synergy at Orlando with Methods, TCM. We haven't seen Killer and Mir do anything. We saw in the 5K.
Yo, called out.
Well, what? I mean, what have we? I mean, they got fourth at what? They got at North American Championships, right?
yeah,
They got
which
fourth.
was arguably a little bit of luck on their side because they didn't have to play an informed
FaZe
FaZe
Black.
Red. Oh,
Yeah.
was it FaZe Black?
FaZe
FaZe
Black.
Black. Sorry, they didn't have to play an informed FaZe Black because they had to forfeit because Proof
Over
was
the
on a cruise.
weekend, during the 5K, they played with Nate instead of Mir. They got fourth. They made it to the semis.
How's Proofy playing?
Really good.
Really good.
Actually,
that envy squad didn't like.
Acid
none of
just,
them made any changes.
Acid just said that Owen should have taken Props champ team with Bose, Ricky, Moch, and Nikki D.
I don't disagree.
I don't disagree either. That was a top 4 team at the time.
I think Moch is a big question mark in a lot of like managers' eyes. He's just like not that sexy on the social media end. Doesn't really do much YouTube
He's a
content.
sick player,
anything
though.
else. He's inconsistent.
I mean, you could have
Really?
you could have taken like
He plays as an individual extremely well at every single event.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like he's.
Yep.
You know what you're gonna get with
Since
him.
Ghost.
no, that team would have been really. I would have actually enjoyed that team if it was like Bose, Classic, Ricky, and Slacked.
Yes.
I think that would have been a cool team.
Honestly, I think with Moch it could work as well.
I don't think any of those players are gonna get traded.
But I don't know.
None
I
of
think
those players
that
are gonna get traded.
that prop squad, which was weird, is I talked to those guys at Champs. They're like, yeah, we didn't really practice.
Right.
We didn't really play together. It was a money 8s team, is how they kind of described it.
But you could tell
or
like
other
the
teams
mood was
described
good in
it.
the booth. They were getting outslayed and they were winning games. Like when you're that's like a sign of like a team who's playing the right way. Like when you can get outslayed but consistently win the game, like you're doing something correct.
Right. I agree. I think Facento to Optic Nation is the most likely trade of anything for Owen.
Is Rise Nation done? They're sticking together. Everything is
They
finished on
confuse-
the
Rise
that
a
team
6-0
confuses the
SM.
hell out of me.
Like,
What's that?
That team confuses the hell out of me.
Right.
I
You're
don't-
like,
does it
theory,
you got some of the
Wheats,
clutchest players in
Chino,
Search and Destroy.
Nesmo.
It confuses me from the standpoint that they do really well in the 2Ks, and then they get eliminated early from the 5K, and then they have an awful week in the Pro League, and then they'll go back and win the 2K. So it's like, what in the hell is going on?
What is working for you? Because we can't identify.
team,
it.
It
They
works on
played-
Saturdays, it falls apart on
Yesterday
Sunday.
they played extremely well in the Pro League. I think they finally you got to remember that was a new team as well. Like you have that honeymoon phase immediately, right? Where every new team comes out and plays well.
Yeah,
That's just
we're
how it
gonna
is.
crush.
Same thing happened with Optic
Yeah.
Nation. As soon as that team was formed in the league,
They were
they looked
crushing,
great.
yeah.
They crushed. So you have that honeymoon phase. Then they go through that kind of darker period of time, which is kind of like you said, they got knocked out early in the 5K,
Yeah.
lost all the Pro League. Now though, I think they're kind of settling out. They kind of know how everyone plays. That team's going to be good. That team is going to be very good, especially a lot of the players opting to not play with Overkill. Rise is a team who just seem to just destroy everyone without sniper rifles. They 6-0'd 2 teams in S&D last night. 6-0'd, one of which was Denial on Detroit.
Ouch.
6-0.
Well, Denial has been kind of shaky since champs.
But
Yeah,
you would
but
expect them to win a round.
take a round, man.
Right.
Like, and to do that
Win-
twice
win
against
your
2 different
defense.
teams is impressive.
Yeah.
Like, their S&D is extremely good, and I think you'll see that really propel them further forward, and I don't think they're even thinking about team change. Why would you make a roster change right now? It doesn't make any sense. Same thing with Envious. They don't need to make any team changes whatsoever. They have Merc who can go over for foreign events as a sub.
Yeah,
They
there's no
need to.
reason for Envy to make a move.
They don't need to. TK, they just won an event. Yes, okay, not the biggest event, but it was still an event. They may finally figure stuff out. TCM, they're not going to make a team change. Completely, it's almost impossible to. I feel.
Yeah, I mean, as a European organization, you want to still keep the fact that you're European.
Yeah, that wouldn't make sense. Hey, we're European organization. We just picked up 4.
We got TR!
Woohoo! Denial, although yes, they're having some shaky performances, I don't think they'll make a team change yet. A shaky X Games.
Like
could
how
spark
shaky
something.
is Denial right now? So they've fallen from the top 3. They're in 4th place currently.
Is it just kind
16
of
and
like?
12.
Is it just kind of like? Yeah, we won champs. Just kind of chill back for a little bit. You know, like they're not going as hard as they were. Maybe a little bit of that.
Probably the
Kinda-
worst attitude you can have coming out of champs.
Because I feel like this is very much
Yeah, I don't disagree, but I'm
the
saying is that what's
reincarnation of FaZe Red. Like Denial's performance right now is the same as what I saw FaZe do in season 2. Or sorry, season 1.
happening? Okay.
Just like they had a good team, you expected them to do really well, but they didn't necessarily have to take it too serious, or they didn't have to really start trying
I think
really hard until the end.
The
the next
issue
2
right
weekends
now.
will show for me.
The,
how
the
they are.
issue right now with Denial is they need, now more so than ever, JCap and Attach to all, and Clay, all to go off at the same time. Like, that's the only way they're going to have a lot of
Right.
success. Because of how the game is right now. It's just so Slayer heavy. Especially when you have Replays, who, yes, can hold his own on a hard point, but when was the last time you heard us say, yeah, Replays, you know, he just dropped 40 kills? Like, that's
A few times to champs, but that was
maybe, yeah, like once or twice.
I'm
That's
saying.
not what he's known for. You know he's going to be on the hard point hill. You know he's going to be running flags. You know he's going to be running uplinks. Like,
right.
you need everyone else to play consistently. And that's been the issue with them recently is when one person has played bad,
But you can
means you haven't
see,
enough to get up on
just
top.
by looking at the rosters, like those type of players are getting like phased out.
what, like objective players?
Like straight objective-minded players getting phased
Yeah,
out.
we talked about this earlier in the week, where I was saying Slayer is the most
Like-
important, and you were arguing towards the objective.
Nate is sub. Like you would say he was like an objective player. Like
I
for
mean,
his
he
team.
retired. I mean,
Right,
that's-
retired, but like he's not playing.
Took a break.
Right, Remy.
It's not
from
done.
Remy on TR.
Sensor, I
mean,
guess.
he was like the objective player. Sensor. You would say he was. Pac-Man was the objective player for his
Come
team.
on. Pac-Man has had the worst
I just
results.
wanted to throw that one in
no,
there. I just
I'm
wanted
not
to throw
letting
in
you.
Pac-Man.
He's had the worst results in AW he's ever had.
Accuracy.
Jonathan is good.
Accuracy was the objective player for that squad, season 1.
Ah,
you
maybe.
would look at it and say
true.
most of the objective players outside of what? Like players
Theory.
you'd categorize as objective. I would
Theory?
categorize Theory as really
Yeah,
objective.
he is.
Okay.
100% he is. He's always on the hard point.
Like you have replays, Shane, Theory.
Yeah.
Those are like the only ones that
Would
are
you say
like
Bose?
not even, not really.
Killer Romero?
Anyone from Justice?
Merc.
Merc, but I
Right.
feel like Like that's like not. I feel like that's something that was like forced. Like he's unjust.
So you got
like,
5 of the
You
12.
got Burns too.
Yeah, Burns.
You talk about how Burns has transformed himself into
He's
like a Slayer in
he's
this
transformed
game.
into an intelligent, objective-minded player where he doesn't just jump on the hill like in Ghost. If you ever played against Curse, you know Burns is just gonna be sat on the hill. Every time I'm spawning, he's gonna run to the hill. He's gonna run to the domination point. It's an easy kill. Now he's thinking, all right, let me just kill everything and then jump on the hill.
So
which would be the same way a Slayer would think of it. Let me just kill everything, and then if I have to, let me
is
jump on the hill.
currently in 11th place right now.
Yep.
11 out of 12.
10 and 18. Their current record. But look how close that whole bottom
They have a
7 is.
2-0 night. They're in like.
They go straight to 7th.
They go to 7th, yeah.
So although it's
Are
bad,
the players happy right now? Like, does Prof need to summon Aqua and Nagafen right away? Can't Aches, Apathy, Censor, and Happy?
well, Censor just got
sorry,
traded.
not Censor.
Censor is traded. Happy just got traded to Prof from AR because
Go back to the chat for a second.
AR were just like, hey, let's just trade everyone because, hey, why not? So right now their starting lineup has to be Aqua, Nagafen, Aches, and Apathy. They don't have
So
a choice.
TJ said there will be an announcement in 10 minutes.
Yo, bring it, TJ!
TJ said that?
Yeah.
And Octane said he's got an announcement as well.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
All right. This is what we live for. So,
Yo, Octane for temp. That team would be sick.
hold on. So we got Octane.
Slack,
said he's got an
Classic,
announcement.
TJ, and Octane.
What is Ron telling
So
you?
Octane and TJ have said they have an announcement. So that's Octane obviously starting on Justice right now.
No, that's not him.
Bottom 4. TJ said he had an announcement.
What is TJ's Twitter?
Elv
Say right
Tej. No underscore. Elevate, I think. And then TEEJ. Underscore between Elevate and Tej.
We're searching for these tweets.
Announcement
Maybe
within the next 10 minutes. That was 2 minutes ago. Octane says announcement soon.
Yo, boys, I'm going to try and get these guys on Skype to make that announcement. So I think with 30 minutes left now is a good time to take that commercial break. Benson
You
is
did it.
eating a lemon. If
Very soon.
Vicento does not get moved at all,
Pray for me. Pray for me, ladies and
pray
gentlemen.
for the lemon to be eaten.
Yeah,
No, I don't want to eat
that's
one.
what I'm praying for.
No. Anyway, be right back.
Lemon party.